I'm Chuck Wareham, the Executive Director of the New Zealand Association of Private Education Providers. And I'd like to give you an overview of the private tertiary education system in New Zealand. There are a number of different tertiary providers. There are the universities, the ITPs or the polytechnics, equivalent to TAFE I think, the Wānanga or Māori providers, the industry training organisations, the private tertiary establishments or PTEs, and a number of other providers of English language. But I'd like to focus on PTEs. The last Labour government that New Zealand had, as part of their ideologically driven plan, decided to get rid of PTEs. In fact, the minister at our conference stood up and said, "Watch my lips, I'll get rid of all PTEs." That same minister has gone from Parliament, the Labour government has gone, and PTEs are still here. At that stage, PTEs had to undergo an assessment of strategic relevance, and unfortunately for the government, the results showed that the majority of PTEs were delivering high quality qualifications that were both strategic and or high strategic, and as a result of this, very few of the courses were actually rationalised. There was no such rigorous assessment of the public sector, although as a SOP, polytechs were asked which of their qualifications they would like assessed. There were very few of these were tested, and they didn't come up to the same standards as the PTEs, and the assessment of the public sector just died a quiet death. Interestingly enough, some time ago, a study by a public research institute in New Zealand showed that 92% of employers preferred graduates from private providers over those from public providers. The government was not enamoured with this study, and so the Ministry of Education and later the New Zealand Qualifications Authority carried out similar studies. The results were the same. Needless to say, all these studies have been buried, and anyone would be hard pushed to find them, although I do have copies. Many of the good PTs are flourishing, and there is still a reasonably high number of English language schools, although these do not receive any government funding. In fact, the PTs are increasingly becoming a strong force in the international arena, and they are competing favourably with the public sector, not only in the area of language and upskilling students, but also in higher level diplomas and degrees. As you've heard from Russell, NZAPP is the largest organisation of private tertiary providers and represents just over half of the 700 or so providers in New Zealand. It's the only association with a protocol with government which requires the government to consult with the association on all areas affecting the private sector, apart from budget. It's a capital B. We're not allowed to know about that. NZAPP continues to grow, and we receive applications for membership almost on a daily basis, and just as a matter of interest, we don't actually publicise that, they just happen to roll in, so it's actually very good for us. The objectives of NZAPP are to improve the credibility and quality of the sector, lobby on measures affecting PTEs, offer current and accurate and timely information, protect the public and members against improper practices, and hold an annual conference, which we're doing next week. So if anyone's in Wellington, you're welcome to attend our conference on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week. Now, NZAPP stands for quality, student choice, strong outcomes, reputable provision for the international market, equity, professionalism and credibility, and does these through a number of ways, including a code of ethics for its members and a quality commission which was set up in 2005. The quality commission is a warranty scheme. It's very much like an ombudsman, and it's an independent authority that hears complaints by students and providers. It's quite unique, and the commissioner is the only person who can award damages and refund course costs. And in New Zealand, even the NZQA, the audit authority, can't do that. New Zealand also has a student fee protection scheme, which is legislated for, and all providers must belong to it. All tuition, accommodation and other expenses are held in trust and paid to a provider retrospectively, the residue of fees directed to a new provider or refunded in the event of a closure. I just realised I was going to do some slides, but I've forgotten about it. So. New Zealand has had a fast entry into the international student market, coupled with quick growth, with providers doing incredibly well until the bubble burst in 2005.